I know some people that in the beginning they work hard and hard and hard, and then they get the money and then they just forget. They forget, bro. They forget everything. All right, my friends, my family, welcome to Success After Dark podcast. Today we have a special guest. Woo! So we have Mr. Kaine Harriott and my brother Vlad as a co-host.
Oh, you're a host?
Co-host.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kaine, man.
Shoot.
The infamous Kaine Harriott.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for some time now.
5 years? 6 years? 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Time goes.
But
man.
you've been in business for some time.
Like,
but you know what? You know what's funny, man? I don't think a lot of people know your real story. Like, real story.
I don't know. I don't even know my real story. Bro. I'd be telling like 10 versions on stage. To be honest. Depends where I am on stage.
Yeah.
You gotta like change the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
It is because you look at a movie. It's like, okay, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And depending on the audience and what type of movie they.
Based on true story.
Yeah. So, which version? Are we
So let's go a raw version that people have never. Not maybe have never. Maybe have some of them has seen.
Like elevator version.
Yeah, elevator version for sure.
Starting from how back? Like how far back we going? Like
Just go, but you went to school as a.
Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, listen.
Yeah, there we go.
So, I went to high school.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to college for a week.
Nice.
Like 1 week.
1 week.
And if you don't do good in high school, you take a course called Police Foundations. It's the truth.
Nice. Okay.
No, you just do.
I didn't know
like,
that. Yeah.
It's like one of those courses where you can't mess it up. Like you just
Really?
get in. You just get in.
What do they teach you there?
I don't know how to be a dick. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I was there for a week.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's where I met Kareem.
Yeah.
Kareem was.
I know that story.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I got there, walked in. It was Sheridan, and I sat down. And this is the era, like this is like hip hop era. This is like G Unit era. This is still like it's a rowdy era.
Okay.
So I'm walking in with my hat backwards, like do rag on, and like I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But I watched the American Pie movie, so I was like, I'm there for girls.
The party one.
Yeah, I'm there for girls. Like in my head, I'm college. I'm there.
We
for
watched
girls.
that back home. That was crazy back home. We had to illegally download it.
Torrent?
Yeah, torrent. Yeah.
Yes.
Torrent,
Yeah, so that right.
I broke like 2 laptops with torrents, by the way.
Great.
He had LimeWire, 100%. Exactly. I know exactly what he had, right? So I'm walking and I'm thinking like girls, parties, but I forgot I had this course called Police Foundations, which is supposed to teach you how to be a cop, like, you know? And that's just like, for me. But I had to do something. So I walk in, and in the first 10 minutes, like, the guy was like, you. So I'm looking back like, who's he talking to? He's like, you, hat off. I'm like, I'm done with this. Like, that was like, I was done. I was over it, like, from day one. And I just couldn't get with it. The whole school thing for me,
the
like,
school system.
just couldn't get with it, man. I just, like, first of all, the guy teaching the class didn't look like he was even qualified to be teaching the class. I didn't want to be like this guy, so I didn't want to take advice from this guy. I didn't want to be a cop. It just wasn't for me, but they'd said go to school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in school. I'm here. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but, like, it just didn't work. So anyway, so I dropped out. That's kind of what happened. That's the real story. And then
you had an interesting story with being a lawyer for 2 minutes.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was I seen an Everest commercial. That's the real story. Okay, so you know the one where he's like,
You sitting on the phone, or you watching TV? Sitting on your couch?
I didn't watch that. I was back home.
Yeah.
But that's from you
that
guys.
one. Okay. And I'm like, I am sitting on the couch.
Doing nothing with
So
your life,
there was a
basically,
TV commercial back in the days.
Yes.
Like it was
And
a
it was
TV commercial
they know
for
what
a
they're doing
school.
because they put a black guy. They put a black guy on there, and you seen the commercial. So I'm sitting there one day, I'm eating my chips, and he's like, yo, you sitting on the couch, you ain't doing shit. And I'm like, yeah, a little bit, a little bit. So I enrolled in Everest.
Yeah.
They had a paralegal program.
Nice.
Right? It's a true story. So I called the number. They said, come. It was in Mississauga. I went. I jumped in the course. It was like basically free to jump in this course.
Oh.
And it just was a bunch of random people there trying to do something with their life. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, here I am again. Let me just try to like get with the program.
Yeah.
So I think I got like a month into it. And there was like a part of the program where you could go to the courthouse, you watch court cases, and then you come back, you do a case study. So it was Tuesday. It was like Toonie Tuesday, KFC.
Yeah.
Not making this up.
Yeah.
And I went to the KFC place, which was next to the courthouse in Mississauga. So if
Yeah.
you go 950 Burnham, there's a court. So I'm meeting my chick and I'm going to the courthouse, and there was a lawyer there, and he was like, "You eating chicken in the courthouse?" And I'm like, "Am I not supposed to?" And we just started talking. That's literally how we met. His name was Michael Walt, right? We started talking like that. And I told him what I was doing, and he's like, "You got some character to you. You probably do well in this field." And he's like, "Come see me. Come see me tomorrow." So what's funny is I got hired before I even finished the course.
Wow.
So I was mimicking this guy in court, and he would give me like, he would let me shadow him in court.
So what kind of lawyer was like?
He was doing civil claims, summary convictions, so that's anything jailable under 2 years. And he was doing traffic tickets, like provincial offenses, stuff like that. So anywhere he went, I went. I was like his shadow, like his mimic.
Wow.
But what would happen is every day he would give me like more court cases. He'd be like, "Okay, so you saw me what I did yesterday, so go take this and go introduce the client." I'm like, "Wait, like how?" He's like, "You saw what I did yesterday, just go do it." So I'll go in front of the court, you know, the courthouse, and I'd be like, "Your Worship, my surname is Harriott. I'm here on behalf of blah, 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 on behalf of Michael Walt, blah, blah, blah." And that's what like got me to like public speak originally, you know? And then I was doing that for a while, and, you know, he started paying me a small salary. And then one day in court, I had a guy, he was like, "Yo, you'd be so good at what I do." But this was a guy I was defending in court.
I don't think I want to do what you do.
That's what I was thinking, right? But this guy had the money, like he had the BMW, like he looked the part, you know. But he was a client of Mike's, not mine. But Mike said, "Handle this guy. He's like your age, handle him," you know. And he's like, "Man, you'd be so good at what I do."
Do you remember what he was going for court for?
He locked his girlfriend in the car.
Nice.
Didn't let her pee.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'll never forget. His name was Jet. Yeah, and if he's listening, like straight up,
she's still locked.
It's what it is.
Wow.
So, anyways, like long story short, he's like, "You'd be great at what I do." He said, "What do you do? Like, what exactly do you do?" He's like, "I got this thing going on, you know, this thing where like you get people and you get another person, and if you get this person, they get that person, you make $1 million, bro. It's like very easy." So I'm just kind of like giving him this look.
Yeah.
I'm like 22, and I'm just like, okay, like it doesn't really make sense.
You're 22 at that point.
I'm 22 at this point. Yeah, I'm 22 at this point. So he's like, "I need you to talk to my partner," which if you guys like understand network marketing stuff, that's like his upline.
Yeah.
So he connects me with a guy that was making $30,000 a month.
Whew.
And that guy was like, "I need to meet you in North York. I heard a lot about you. You're a lawyer, right?" And me, "Yes." He's like, "I need to meet you."
Nice.
So I end up meeting that guy, and that guy pretty much showed me sales and network
marketing
and all that stuff. And I was in it.
Wow.
That was my first. That's how I really got into it. Like that's for real what happened. Now what I say on stage might be.
I bet you never heard that story, have you? No.
That's the real.
I heard he was a lawyer.
I heard I was a lawyer too. I was shadowing a lawyer. If that
and
counts.
then I'm guessing it wasn't quick, fast success. It took you some time.
For network marketing.
Yeah.
Well, I still thought I was a lawyer, so I was I thought I was better than everybody still.
Nice.
So I'm going into these meetings, these seminars, and I'm watching people on stage talk about personal development and business 101, and I'm sitting there in front row. I'm like, I'm a lawyer, so
I don't need this.
I don't know what you guys are on, but I'm a real lawyer, and I believed it.
Yeah.
And it almost gave me like a little bit of edification because the guy that brought me in was edifying me as a lawyer, and I'm nodding my head and I'm just agreeing, which is probably the smartest thing I did. Because it got me through the door, and people took me serious in that field.
At 22 years old.
Yeah.
Speaking of personal development, I don't think you are a typical personal development guy, but I feel like you get your personal development from different...
Real life.
From real life and hip-hop, I think. No? Or rap or...
Straight hip-hop.
Or, I don't know. Like, I see you... Like, I swear to God, I feel like Kaine sometimes, like, I'd be talking to him, and he'd be like... Well, JC said one day, I'm like, JC, what? Like, Hova. You see what I mean? So
it's not a typical textbook.
It's not a typical, well, John C. Maxwell when leadership said 1, 2, 3.
I tell you why. It's because I can't relate to these people.
Yeah.
Like, they read a lot of books. I lived a lot of life.
Yeah.
I do things in real life, and I pick up from real life. Like, you can't learn to drive from a book. You can't learn to love from a book. You can't learn from a book. There's a lot of things you gotta do this in real life. So a lot of what I've lived real life. I've been in scenarios. I've traveled. I've talked to a lot of people. I've dealt with a lot of situations. And it gives me a better insight. Because you could read how to deal with pressure. And then when pressure hits you in the face, what are you doing? Ask any athlete. Ask any, like, he plays ball. I see him on his Instagram. You can't learn to play ball from a textbook.
No, that's true.
What are you reading about?
That's true.
You can read Michael Jordan's biography if you want to.
Yeah.
Get on the court. Let's see what you got. So I get why people do personal development. Some people need it to condition their minds.
Yeah.
I had big goals. It was like do or die.
Yeah.
And I lived a lot of life, and I could just apply what I learned in real life to the game, and everything's relatable.
So when was your first big check in network marketing?
We'll define big check. Like
big,
10 grand
plus,
a month.
10 grand
10
plus.
grand a month.
10
yeah.
grand a month.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, so 10 grand a month when I got into the industry was like, out of reach. Like it was like another level. So my biggest check in the beginning, I want to call my big check like 2,500 in 1 week.
Yeah. Oh.
Because for me, that was like what I was earning in a month. From working a real job.
Yeah.
So doing it in a week from what I didn't consider work, just persuading people and talking to people on stage, I was like, this is crazy. Because 2,500 a week back then, it was like, if I could just do this a couple more times, in my head,
big money.
this is huge. I make more money than my parents doing this. This is going to be a real thing for me. And, you know, when I did get to that point where he's saying a 10 grand a month, I was like, I'm retired. in my mind, at 25 years old, 10 grand a month. It's like, wow. But inflation happens and life happens and people do it faster today, and Instagram happened. You see how other people live and industries are getting bigger. So 10 grand a month today is not what it was.
I think when you started 2013, 2014,
it
was more of a Facebook thing.
BBM, Facebook, BBM, like
BBM.
MySpace was just, ping. I'd be pinging a lot of these, man, I'd be pinging everybody. MySpace was going down. It was still MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace was going down. There was a thing called T.Wire too. Shout out to T.Wire. It was going down, and Facebook was going up. Okay. And BBM was still like the thing. Like everybody had BBMs. Like you want to invite someone to something, it's BBM.
Yeah. But Kaine, man, you've had a lot of, you know, you've just had a lot of not only ups and downs, but you've had lots of things happen. And we're talking, I know like at one point, you know, the business wasn't working well. Like you made money and then the business wasn't working well, so people quit. And then you just never went back to, you never cared to go back to a job. You just had that mentality where I'm just not playing that game.
Yeah, because like when you see something, you can't really unsee it. Like what type of stupidness would this? Like I'm in an industry, first of all, where it's not, I don't even consider this real work. Yeah. Like you go anywhere else in the world, any of these third world countries, you see what real work is, what people really do to make a little bit of money, right? You just, if you're ever confused, go look at the traffic Monday morning. These people are working real jobs. They're spending time away from families. They're really putting in grind work. They're compromising their health. Like this is real. Like shout out to the nurses and frontline workers and police officers and firefighters. Like this is real work. The contractors. I feel bad when it's cold outside or even hot outside and I see the contractors on the street fixing the street. This is real work. I didn't figure I was doing real work. I'm on stage. I'm on social media. I'm spreading awareness through social media about a brand. Like this is not real work. So for me, it was like, even if this is not working right now, it's still a better option to push for this, because when it does work, the sky's the limit. Because the last thing I'm going to do is go back to the, I guess we can call it the real world, or the actual,
real world.
Like,
the real world.
But do you think anybody can do that?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
So what do you think the differentiator between somebody that can and somebody that can't?
You got to have a lot of respect for yourself. A lot of people respect their employer more than they respect themselves. Wow. They're scared of their employer. They fear their employer, want to be like their employer. They don't even take a chance on themselves. And you could see, because, I mean, if this were the case, everybody would be fit. Everybody would be in shape. Most people don't even respect their own body. How are they going to respect their income? They don't even respect what they look like. They're having glucose for breakfast.
You make a good point. I remember I was saying on the last podcast that if my old boss is watching, he had a Mazda 3 and Rakan drives something a little bit different. That I have a question for Kaine. And you're an immigrant too, right? So
no, he was born in the UK.
I'm born in the UK. I'm an
He still has a UK passport.
Yeah, I remember you posted something. You posted something about a year ago, and it was something along the lines of, you know, your parents made the biggest sacrifice bringing some, you know, you here to a new land, no connections, no nothing. Do you feel some sort of imperative to do something big, to do something different, take a risk, not live the normal life, and you know, make something happen for yourself and then your future generations coming down the line?
Yeah, 100%. That's a good question, because if you have immigrant parents and they sacrificed on any level for you, which most immigrant parents do, or if you have immigrant grandparents, they came to a new land. They put you here for a reason. They struggled. They fought. They did what they had to do to bring you here. And your spoiled ass can't wake up at 8 a.m. and build something and give back for real? Yeah. Like you don't respect yourself and your family and your last name enough to go do something? Sure. That's crazy to me. Yeah. That's such a disrespect, like ultra disrespect. You know how many like people I've met where it's like they have immigrant parents and they just feel like it doesn't mean anything. Like I'm in Canada, got healthcare, got education, got the OSAP loan. They're leasing their Benz.
Life is okay.
You know, I was gonna say what car you have, but I feel like by the time this gets released, you're gonna have a new one. So we'll leave it to that. But I got a question for Kaine. You too, Rakan. What would be your I made it moment in your career if you haven't had it already?
I want to hear Kaine's.
The I made it moment. Your
moment where you're like, you know what?
I asked him this question a long time ago. I wonder if he's gonna have the same answer.
Definitely not. my oh made it moment, I think it was when it was like people I didn't know, people I've never met, come up to me and were like, yo, you're my mentor. And I'm like, I'm your what? Your what? Like I had to go look up the definition of mentor. I didn't even know what for real? Me? Because it's like, you always see yourself as regular.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving to these meetings.
Yeah.
And I'm blasting like hip hop on the way to the meeting. I'm regular. Like I was just eating a junior like McChicken or like I'm a regular person. And you get to these meetings and you give one of these speeches and someone's like, yo, you were my mentor. It's like, for real? Like you really believe that? And that was like, yeah, we made it for real. Like that's.
Rakan, what about you? Have you had it yet or no? I think you've had a couple.
I mean, I've had a couple, but
milestones.
I've had a couple milestones, but I feel like that I made it. I think it was my first tour the first tour in the Middle East for sure. That tour I was celebrated like is nuts, and I'm looking around and I just couldn't believe like what was happening and how, people were talking to me. It's just very different, and I feel like the heaviest one was probably like my mom's car, I guess, because she just really wanted the car, and I'm like, okay, and it's just not okay that let me calculate it. Okay, it's just okay, like whatever you want can be done. So I guess, but it was never one moment, but it was it was like a small
series,
a series of a lot of I made it.
People like message me and they're like, you actually know Rakan? I'm like, the audacity, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like you actually know that guy? It's like, yo, move from my DM, bro. It's nonsense at 8 a.m. in the morning.
So Kaine, like, you practiced law.
I think I did.
Okay, and then you joined network marketing.
Yeah.
You'd had some ups and downs. You joined the company, didn't work out. There's another company.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you had your biggest.
Yeah, it was
peak.
more me. It was more me. Like it was more like my pace. Like the first company was Essential Home Services. So like you got to think like I come like right off the street.
Yeah.
And they put me in this room and I'm supposed to sell hydro, gas, water, and it's like, dude, I don't have a home. Like,
nice.
Like you know what I mean? I didn't even know I don't even know what a hydro bill even looks like, and I'm supposed to sell. The second company was health and wellness.
So you can.
So it was like energy drinks, supplements, protein, and it was like I was already in the gym. I was ready. I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to wear a suit and tie. That's what really did it for me. I promise you, because in the first company it was mandatory suit and tie, and you had to address people in a certain way.
Yeah.
Second company is no rules. So my hat went backwards really quick. Yeah. T-shirt on, shorts on, Air Jordans on stage. You could say what you want. So that's like, for me, I felt comfortable. And I think that's a big thing, to feel comfortable.
Do you feel like it's necessary? So do you feel like it's necessary for in business to kind of wear a certain thing, or?
Hell no. No, you don't got to wear any. People say like dressed how you want to be addressed. Like, first of all, like this 2022, the people that make the most money on social media right now, like, look, they're not in suit and ties. Yeah, the game has changed. It's a different world. I seen a cop the other day with tattoos all over his hands like me. Like, it's a different world today. It's not the same thing.
Absolutely.
There's a saying that says, like, rich people wear suits, but the wealthiest people in the world wear pajamas.
Yeah.
And have the people that have the suits.
Exactly, and the people in the suits working for them.
Yeah.
I got a question for you both.
Sure.
It's a two-sided question. Does money change people? And has money changed you?
Yeah.
Rakan, start with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like Kaine's gonna have to think about this one.
Does money change people? Absolutely. It kind of magnifies who you already are, But it does, you know, because in the beginning, like I know some people that in the beginning they work hard and hard and hard, and then they get the money and then they just forget. They forget, bro. They forget everything. Like I know some people that we've helped, me and Kaine, get to a lot of money.
Yeah.
They forget quick, bro.
Yeah.
Number one, who they are. Number one, who's gonna got them to that point. And you know, to me as a leader, I have to kind of move on regardless. But it's just, does it change people? Absolutely. And sometimes it changes the wrong people. It doesn't always change the good people, right? And we live in a society right now where I feel like being rich, you like it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Like I have a lot of DMs like, oh, since you're rich, why don't you do this? She would love up like I don't know how to answer these people. It's like you have an obligation now to well, in a sense, yes, I have an obligation to give back because there's you know, unwealthy or unrich people that I would love to give, but it's not, you don't force that on me, right? It's not, I don't have to give you because you don't have money and I have money. So I feel like there's some people, like I've had some old friends call me and like, hey, like, can you give me $2,000? Like, do I look like a bank to you? Like, I don't
yes.
know. Yes.
His name was only Bank of Khalifa.
You have to change it because of that.
That's why I changed it. And no, for real. And I told him, I'm like, I don't do loans. I don't do loans. No family, no friend. I just don't do the loans unless you know, we're gonna do it legally, right, in the legal way with collateral, and because my accountant will not allow me to do any of that. Right, and it's like, oh boy, you changed.
It also ruins relationships when you let friends borrow money.
And I agree. Yeah, I'm
just
not. I'm not a fan of that. And he's like, yo, money changed you. I'm like, yo, if money changed me because of that, I'm cool.
Yeah. My answer is pretty easy because it goes with his answer. Money don't change you; it changes people around you.
Ooh,
that's what it is. Because hold on, I have the same situation as him. People be like, hey, borrow me $10,000.
Yeah.
Say, first of all, what happened to $20? Where you go $10,000? Could find $10,000, right? What do you mean borrow you $10,000? When I was broke, you didn't ask me to borrow you anything. So you changed. Because when I was broke, you didn't ask me for no money. But now you see me with a little, you see me shining a little. Now you asking me for money. So you changed. You didn't ask me for nothing before. So money be changing people around you. That's what it really does.
Wow.
Like, that's what I think in my head.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's shift the conversation just a little bit. What would you describe your perfect woman in 3 characteristics? Characteristics.
We're going there.
And I know, and also talk about how, you know, how you used to look, well, what you looked in women before the money, and now that you have had some success. So what has changed over time, and what are you looking for today?
Well, money's allowing me to tell the truth. I don't have to lie no more.
Cool.
So what I would have said before was like maybe a textbook answer. But having some money allows you to have option. And when you have option, you tell the truth. You really pick what you want. You don't have to buy this car because it's economical. You could buy this car because you can like it. So if I talk about a woman today, I could tell the truth. Fit, feminine, coachable.
Coachable.
It's the truth. But I could say it now. I could tell the truth.
So fit, yeah. Gym fit, I'm guessing. Looks,
okay, yeah.
does that
yeah, like fit like I
mean, you mean looks fit, that's what
yeah, looks wise.
And then what's the second one? Feminine,
yeah, because nobody wants to date, you know,
a man.
Shadow, yeah. I don't want to. Yeah.
Shadow. And then the third one is coachable.
Coachable, yeah.
Like what's?
And that can run 2 ways. I mean, coachable is like if you're a person of, you know, if you're in a position of power, like he keeps referencing money.
Yeah.
So you want somebody that can vibe with that, not intimidated by that. Somebody can add on to that. I don't mean like I don't want to control someone to the point where like I don't want them to think, but like I want them to add on to what I'm already doing.
So how? Okay, I get that, but what's an like? What would be an add-on? Like what's
an add-on? Well, I mean, like if I'm gonna make a stupid decision with money, like I'd like you to have some sense and like just know that, you know, this is maybe not the smartest decision. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Then I could be like, well, I'm doing this because of this, and there's got to be some sort of harmonizing going on there. But I mean, like, if this person is coming from no money and coming into the relationship, they got to be a little bit coachable. You got to teach them some stuff. But isn't that business 101? If I'm an intern and I'm going into a firm, I'm going into a corporation, don't I have to be coachable?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
So now what is that perfect woman looking at when it comes to a man? What 3 characteristics. Let's say you want a fit, feminine, coachable girl. What are they looking at? What do you think they're looking for?
I'm guessing somebody that can take.
Well, they want somebody. They want someone that can protect them. One, I think women are looking. Well, it really depends on which women we're talking about, but I think generically women want protectors, nurturers. They want people. They want people that have some substance, that can take control. I think conversation's a big part of it, and I think women want a successful man. I don't know why anybody would like. First of all, if you have your option to pick,
success is money.
100. I think so. Well,
no. I mean, you meant by successful is he has some success in business.
If you take a woman and say like, okay, you can have anything you want, pick. Yeah. Like Genie, Aladdin. Yeah. Who's gonna be like broke?
No, for sure.
Who's gonna be like weak? Who's gonna be like
a broke
beta
man and a weak man?
Yeah, exactly. Who is gonna? By the way, the only reason a woman would say that she wants a guy, she don't care about no money, she don't care about no looks, I don't care about if he's strong or not, or it's because they're hoping not to get cheated on. That's it. Ooh. That's the only reason. There's no other logical reason.
You think he wouldn't?
They still cheat. That's what's the problem. They still a guy who is weak.
Yeah.
A guy that lacks confidence.
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't have physical attributes. A regular. They still cheat.
Yeah.
Because they fantasize and they still cheat. So it is what it is. So you might as well go get what you want, sis. Go for the moon. Shoot for the moon. It is what it is.
But there's some girls that feel like they shouldn't be shooting for the moon because they're not the moon.
Yeah, but it's free to shoot.
Yeah,
I never said you're gonna hit the moon.
Yeah,
it's free to shoot. You shoot your shot. No.
I feel like there's a lot of stigma around like girls being gold diggers. But if you were a girl, you should want a guy with money. Why wouldn't you want a guy with money? Why do you want to have arguments about taxes and finances and coming home tired every day?
Well, there's a big stat that says a lot of you guys know divorces in North America are 10 times higher than divorces 100%. Back home.
Back home, like Saudi,
Middle East in general. Middle East in general.
Yeah,
it is
I get it.
Like by times 10 minimum.
Well, laws protect women here.
In
Canada, like North America, the laws.
It's against it's against the man. Right?
It's against the man.
It's it's against the man. So you get divorced, you got to do this, and this, which I feel like is because we have laws in depending what country in the Arab world, but let's say the Islamic world, there's some rules that would pay the woman, but still protect the man.
Okay.
Right. It would give the woman her full on rights plus extra, but it still would hurt the man. Because I feel like right here, and there's a lot of rules here in North America. Just an example, you get divorced, it's half. Right, no matter what you do, a prenup, no prenup. A prenup nowadays can be thrown out of court very easy, and somebody that is worth X amount of money, right? Because a lot of people have their peaks in their 30s. They don't have it in their 20s. In business,
okay, I see.
Right?
Okay.
I'm talking business peaks happens in their 30s. A lot of people are married already in their 30s.
I'm not.
Well, I'm talking
Are you gonna get married?
Probably. There's no benefit for a man to get married, really. There's no benefit, really.
I feel like kids, no?
Kids. What's kids got to do with marriage?
Oh, yeah.
They got nothing to do with nothing. That's nothing to do with nothing. Yeah.
So you would have kids with somebody that you don't...
Yeah, 100%. Why not? What's it got to do with anything? Like marriage is like government made. It's a contract. It favors a woman. There's no benefit for a man to get married. Like, go Google. There is absolutely zero benefit. What is the benefit? What is, you guys can tell me the benefit. What is the benefit?
So what, your question again, Vlad?
Gold diggers. First of all, if you broke, just say you broke. Like gold diggers.
Well, there's two types of gold diggers. There's ones that were only with a guy for money and they just want the money. They don't want no transaction. There's no transaction going back.
Okay.
But then there's gold diggers that actually want to spend time with you and then quality time, and they're looking for you looking at you as an asset, and they want to give back to you as well. So I'm talking about the ones that are, there's some mutual transaction.
So he's saying there are girls that are absolutely just using the guy,
yes.
right?
They go on the date. They go on the date and they
for
leave,
the money, and
then
they cheat whatever. But then there's gold diggers that I'm looking for a really good man. I have all the things, how to get successful and everything.
But it's the same
but I'm gonna stay for the guy.
Because if a regular man is on Tinder and going on a date, he's looking to smash.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So a girl's looking to get free food and he's looking to smash. It's a mutual transaction. He's horny, she's hungry, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. What? That's how I see it. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Kaine, first question on the date. You hungry? Perfect.
Nice.
This is what it is.
You want to eat?
Well, men post the cars. They post the cars, the jewelry. They post all this stuff. And then what do women post on Instagram? What are women posting?
The food, the Rolex across the table.
No, they're posting their bodies. They're doing their weird poses. You can't be mad at a man for wanting when you post this. And you can't be calling a girl a gold digger when you post in your rose. You asking for it. You fishing. You fishing with the bait. You getting what you ask for.
Yeah. Wow.
It makes a lot of sense to me, to be honest with you. I'm not mad at it. So I'm not mad at the game.
Let's talk about, business and relationships.
Rakan just want to get off the topic.
I think he still wants to stay a little bit, but
yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat.
I feel like, the.
I think I know where you're going. Can I ask?
Sure.
When you're a really busy guy, you're trying to build something really big.
Yeah.
And you need, your first priority is building something big.
Yeah.
And how do women play a part in that? In that empire?
You think so in the beginning, would it be an asset or not an asset in the beginning?
Who's the girl?
Depends to it.
Is she fit, feminine, and coachable?
I hope so.
Okay, it's going to help you.
Huh.
It's going to help you. I tell you why.
Tell me.
If I walk into a room, okay, and I got on jewelry, there's other rich guys that be like, okay, I get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I could have the nicest suit on. There's other guys, okay, that makes sense. This guy's much richer than me. I could buy that. But if I walk in with a girl that's like, wow, every guy want to be my friend because they want to know if she has a friend, and they want to talk to you and they respect you a little bit different. It's the one thing that in a room we measure, like, how to say without getting you guys canceled.
Say it, bro. Say it.
I know everything about you by the type of woman you date. I know everything about you. Your woman is going to reflect you. It's you. So if I look at her, and I should know who her man is just by her. So when you have a woman in business in the beginning, if you have in his situation, and she is that image that we're talking about, it's going to be 10 times easier for him. And other girls are going to realize it too, not just men.
So other girls will look at you and they
be
will...
like, okay, yeah, this guy's serious. He's the one. Like whatever he's doing, it works. He's with her, she's with him. It works. It works, yeah. That's what I did. That was my formula in the beginning. If I'm being honest, it's what it is. Sorry, it's what it is.
At what point does it become a distraction or a liability as opposed to an asset?
Well, I mean, if you have no goal, if there's no end goal with it, and you're just doing it just for photos, I mean, it's a distraction. Some people get caught up in like the clout and not the actual work, so that's when it becomes a distraction. But everything can be used as an asset. But it's like water. You're supposed to drink water every day, right? It's essential to life. But you drink too much water, it's not good. I mean, you could flood your system. It's like this question you're asking. Anything in moderation is okay. But I mean, if you're gonna go date 12 different models in a week, and like, I don't know, you get caught up in that life. I mean, control it, man. Control yourself.
There's you're putting out a lot of energy at that point.
Oh, too much energy.
Yeah. I mean, there's also people saying like, oh, you got to stick to one person on your way up, or like, let's say you're single, and let's say it's just one person, but then there could be times where that one person is more detrimental than, let's say, like, giving off your energy to another person. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said it's got to be that image that we're talking about, the right person.
Yeah,
can't just be anybody. Can't just be giving your energy for free to anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And that goes like any relationship, not just women.
100%.
Well,
like
I know.
Friends,
okay. Well, here's one thing. I've seen a lot of women, join business with a boyfriend already.
Yeah.
And then
they found out really quick who their boyfriend is. That's the truth.
Well, I guess they outgrow. Is that the right word? They outgrow him.
If you want to learn your partner, get into a business with your partner. You're gonna learn everything there is about that person quickly. They can lie up until then. You can't lie about these results, because I know what you're talking about. There are girls that are successful in what we do, and they join with a man, and they figured out very quickly who their man is and what their man's built on. And it's like, oh, we can't even talk no more. Good.
Or do you feel like they see, let's say, they see other men that are very higher standard, and they start looking at the guys?
Of course, because everything's competition. Everything's competition. And it's always funny to me when people say, well, it's not a competition. I'm not. Everything's a competition. Yes, it is. Because it's exactly what you're saying. Now, if I'm with a girl, it's the same way. And I mean, people don't say it because as we grow up, we learn to kind of shut up and mute ourselves.
Yeah.
But money allows you to tell the truth.
Sure.
I'm going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
If I'm with a girl and I've been with this girl and I work with other successful women and the girl I'm with is lacking, why am I going to lose? Why am I dating the side dish? I want the entree too. Like, why would I have to settle for this? But people say, well...
No, I'm with that. I'm with that. Do you feel like... Because, I've seen this, one of my friends, he started something with e-commerce, right? He became successful really quick. He had a girlfriend for the longest time. For like since I came to Canada, I know this guy, he had this girl like 7 years, right? Yeah. And, being in e-commerce, and he started doing a lot of social media stuff. He'll probably be on this podcast. And, at one point, I seen him like start flying out to Vegas, Miami, beating, other e-commerce, like other big dogs in the e-com space, and partying and better looking girls. His girl, she when I met her 7 years before when I first came to Canada, she was, she was solid looking. She was going to the gym, and then kind of over time, she kind of got too comfortable.
Can't do that.
Then one time he was in Miami and he was doing some stuff on Instagram. I'm like, hey, are you still with her? He's like, nah, man. And
how did he say it exactly?
And he calls me and he's like, bro, like, I had to upgrade.
I knew that was coming. It sounds so mean. It sounds so mean on camera, but it's what it is. He told me I had to upgrade. And I just out of curiosity, I went to her Instagram to see like why, because I don't really follow them. Like, and that's another subject I'm gonna talk about. Like, I'm the type of guy where, bro, like in the Middle East, listen, you're dating somebody, I can't talk to this girl. I can't hug this girl. It's a bump. Nice to meet you. And Kaine, he's dated some girls that one of the girls both forced, like, she took my phone. She forced follow herself. It's true.
Because I just can't, bro, it's in my mind, I can't do it.
Rakam muted them both.
And I muted, it just, bro, to me, that's, anyway, so I went on her Instagram to see kind of what's up. And
what about the girl I'm dating right now, no?
I didn't follow, no way, bro. No way, bro. I dare you.
Someone will send,
I'll force follow right now.
It's impossible, bro.
Someone will send Rakan a picture and be like, I can't see the private.
Yeah.
No, I can't see.
It's a good trait. It's a solid trait. It's a solid trait.
To me, I just can't. But anyway, my point is she... Is it felt safe, the word? Is it just like go? Does she feel she didn't have to keep up with the guy? Like, what do you think?
It's the same thing in business. People get comfortable, and the universe will correct you swiftly. You don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, because he's a good looking man. He is now clearly successful, making some money, and she kind of
men for the most part, like, as soon as they get some money, they tell the truth. That's all it is. Like, you know what's crazy? Like, again, sorry, it has to be on this show, but I'm not that sorry. But men know right away when they date a woman if they're going to stay with this woman. They know if they're going to marry this woman. They know they're going to have kids with us. They know, or we know. We're not like we know. But sometimes it's good enough for the moment. When you get some money, allow you to tell the truth.
When you get some money,
allow you to tell the truth. And that's what ends up happening. And sometimes the woman, I mean, maybe she has alternate motives too. Yeah. But we're just talking about men right now. If she didn't upgrade herself and she didn't elevate too, which they usually don't. Yeah. That's it. It's poof. It's done. And the other part of it is, if you're dating a good-looking man, he's in the 0.0001%.
And if he's making money,
and if he's making money, 0.000001%. And he's never been married, 0.000. And he's never had kids, and he's healthy. Stop this, bro. Delusional.
And he's 6 feet. Like, I can list go. Yeah.
6 feet.
6 feet. Yeah.
6 figures.
6 figures.
6 pack. 666. You dealing with the devil. You asking for it. You asking for it.
Like, okay. So, what does that mean? There's a very big percentage of women fighting for that small percentage of men. Because I'm guessing, just out of numbers, it's not a lot of guys that are healthy, have the money, fit, and what'd you say else?
No kids, never married, good looking.
Like, that's a very
it's such a decimal, like 0.000.
Yeah.
To the point where it's not even worth it for most women. And then the women that do get those men, they're okay sharing the men. Just don't embarrass me in public. That's how we get that situation. I'm not joking. It's what it is. It's what it is. But then there's women that say, well, I'm not willing to lower my standards in terms of my morals. Yeah. So I'm going to date a medium ugly guy.
Schmedium.
Schmedium ugly.
Just so you guys know, there's 3 ladies in the studio staring at Kaine right now.
I don't give a damn. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I will be the breadwinner then. And I'll accept loyalty and my man to be faithful.
Yeah.
But he might not be able to buy me Chanel. But I'll just buy myself Chanel. And that's how we get manly women. That's where it's coming from. They just got tired of chasing that small population.
Let's talk about that. What's your take on an alpha female nowadays? And because, you know, society's conditioned, especially in the Western world, for men to become more feminine and women and vice versa. Mm-hmm. What's your take on all that?
Oh, I like a tiger. We like it. I like it. I think it's attractive. I mean, if a woman can go out and get her own.
Yeah.
I'm not intimidated.
But I feel like you're not talking about that.
A weak man.
No.
Are you talking?
I'll give you the floor.
So what's an alpha female?
What's it to you?
Well, it'd be like an alpha male, somebody who can get it their own, somebody who's leading the charge, somebody who doesn't really need direction, somebody who wakes up in the morning and says, "Hey, I'm up. Deal with me. It is what it is."
Yeah.
Very opinionated. I like it. I'm with it. Because an alpha and an alpha is going to make a lot of sense, but they need an alpha.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to want to be with a beta. My honest take on it is we're going to see more and more of that because it's easier for women to make more money today. Social media, like the episode you guys just did.
Yeah.
It's so much easier for a woman to make money on social media. So create a lot of
So what do you
alphas.
think about this OnlyFans stuff?
I like it.
Yeah.
If I was a woman, I'd show my titties 100%. 100%. Well, let's think about it for a second, right? Because girls be like, okay, well, I'm not going to compromise my morals. I'm not going to put my tits on camera.
Yeah.
But then don't go date a drug dealer. Like, what type of stupidness? So what? Their morals are correct.
And they'll make
a scammer. Their morals are correct.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of those. Like, you know, in our building, there's a lot.
100%. But you got to think about it. Like, if you're a young woman and you are attractive, a body is just art, okay? It is what it is. Tits are tits.
Yeah.
You're going to Discovery Channel, you can see tits if you want. Like, it is what it is, right? If you put that on camera, people are going to judge you if you do it or if you don't do it.
Yeah.
I know girls that don't do anything and get bashed. Imagine that. You don't do anything wrong on social media, you still getting bashed. So if you put your tits on camera and you can make $250,000 when you're 21, 22, 23, and go invest in real estate, by the time you're 26, no one's going to remember. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter. I would be on that in a second.
I wouldn't.
It's a different era today. But I'll tell you something. Even if, okay, OnlyFans wasn't created.
Yeah.
This platform, it was happening regardless. But you had to be a stripper, and it was taboo. But now you could be a creator and do it. It goes with social media. It's the same, and I don't think this is going to go backwards. This is more of this is going to happen. Not everybody on OnlyFans is doing full out nudity.
Yeah.
Some of them are just doing topless. But I mean, it is what it is. It's 2022.
Well, but we can both agree that there's other ways to make money. Well, for a female.
Yes, there is.
Online.
There is.
Without.
No, there is 100%. But this to me, it makes sense because it's an easy route. You gotta make $250,000, $500,000. We can't dispute this. We can't dispute this anymore. Like, maybe before you could be like, okay, you're shady. Your morals are not correct. Like, go find God. Like, we could have said this before. There's too many girls that do it and are successful now. We have to deal with this. This is a real thing.
Yeah, but
think about the guy that created OnlyFans.
I understand.
He's a legal pimp. There are people that went to jail for pimping girls. It is what it is. It's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah.
This guy has how many millions of girls selling their bodies images, and it's legal. He did it in a legal way. He is a legal pimp.
And he's profit sharing 20% off everything? That's crazy.
You can't talk to me about this no more. It's a real thing. It is what it is.
Rakan, I think what you're trying to say is...
Going back to my point, bro.
Yes, there's other ways.
I just think there's other ways, man.
There is.
There's absolutely no... I know girls that make millions of dollars a year, bro.
I have something for you then. I have something for you. Because you're right. There is other ways. But look at this. Would you say you respect Jay-Z? He's a billionaire. Yeah. You talk about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Dating Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay? Billionaire. What's Jay-Z do?
What did he do?
What does he do?
He's a businessman.
He's a businessman.
He's a businessman, yeah.
How do you start?
As a rapper.
No, I sold crack. He says it in every song. I sold crack. I sold crack. I sold crack. I made a lot of money and it got me in the game. I don't sell crack no more. I sell art now. Everybody Everybody clapping for Jay-Z.
Yeah,
so what if an OnlyFans girl said, I sold my tits, but now I'm a real estate mogul? Are we clapping for her? We clap for Jay-Z. He's a drug dealer. I'm clapping for the OnlyFans girl. You clap for Jay-Z.
Yeah, but let's switch up topics, because I feel like Kaine, like no matter how crazy people think you are, you have somewhat you've had an impact. We nobody can deny that. You've had you kind of started something that it went all over the world. You have over 100,000 customers worldwide, or you had over 100,000 customers worldwide that have been impacted by something you've done. What's next? So what now? Because you've made the money, lots of it. You have businesses outside of, network marketing. You've done things that, and you're the type of guy where it's not always, for you, it's not always, I want to be in the light no more.
Yeah.
It's like, how many people can I create go on the light so I can just sit in the back and just clap for, and that's kind of, one of my goals.
Like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did Jay-Z?
Kanye.
Oh,
Jay-Z's signing a bunch of,
Rihanna.
Kanye?
Yeah, Kanye, Rihanna. Like it trickles down.
Who did Eminem was
Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre,
yeah. 50 Cent.
Yeah. 50 Cent.
But yeah, you're right about that. So like what's next is like more success stories, more culture, bigger legacy.
Do you feel like you'll be doing network marketing at like
forever?
40? Really?
Once you, like this death row. Like once you get in, you ain't getting out. Sorry.
No, I know that throw. I know that throw. Yeah.
Like once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be in it in some capacity.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not always gonna be in the field, but you might write a book, or you might do a podcast, or you might do sales training or something. Like you're always gonna be in it in some capacity.
Yeah.
I like content creation. I like videography. I like event planning, coordination. Like I get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
But what really does it for me now is, like you said, it's like sitting at the back and watching the whole production.
Yeah.
Watching the leaders, like developing them behind the scenes. I love that. And watching what they do on stage.
Yeah.
To me, that's more thrilling than being on stage these days. And it's kind of like we watched that Vince Carter documentary where Vince Carter was an MVP. He was a dunker. He was like at the forefront. And then he took more of a supporting role as his career progressed, but it gave him longevity.
It made him relevant
like a long time, right?
Yeah.
What's the stat? Vince Carter is like, how many seasons? Like
22 or something crazy. 20.
There you go.
And the average career is like 7 years.
There you go.
Especially for a dunker, like their prime is like 7 years.
Really?
And he played for 22. Because he extended his skill set,
That's
more of a
that's almost triple, no?
Yes, but he got a point. He learned to play different positions.
Yeah.
So you're one of the, when I met you, you were one of the most dynamic speakers I've ever heard. And you've kind of progressed in public speaking as well, better understanding the crowd and stuff. Do you feel like that's your superpower?
Yeah, that's
like I feel like
you
when you give a training, I feel like it's not something you're trained for. It's just I feel like it's a gift. Like
that might be a bit. Like I mean, like it's intuition.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's not being a great speaker. It's knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it.
I see.
That's what a lot of people don't get. A lot of people are very smart and they have a lot of good content and a lot of good things to say, but they don't know when to say it, why they're saying it, when to deliver it, the tone of voice, the speed, the pitch. That's what makes somebody like great.
Yeah.
Like if you look at surgeons, what makes a great surgeon from like a regular surgeon?
I'm guessing their experience.
No, millimeters. The nose was just here, or this was just here, or this was just like I'm talking like body modification. Like what makes everybody go to like this one doctor? Like why would it's the details, the millimeters. Same as like a car detailer, right? What would make a great one from a regular one?
Yeah,
he said the details. They take a little bit more time, and maybe they don't just do the carpet; they do under the carpet too. They do behind the mirror. It's like the little
stuff.
So public speaking, it's like the little thing. It's the pitch, the tone, the speed. People forget this is a real thing.
Can somebody learn it? Do you feel like
100%. 100% you can learn that. Yeah.
What would you tell the audience the best way? Let's say they want to become a great public speaker. What do they do? Coming from zero.
Coming from zero, learn your audience. The best thing you could do. Like if I watch a lot of documentaries like Rakan. I was watching Martin Scorsese. We had a lot of good movies, a lot of like gangster movies. Yeah. And he basically said like, I know my audience. Because he doesn't make a bad movie. If you go, like Martin Scorsese, if you go look at, like he makes all these movies hit. Yeah. He's like, I just know my audience. I know what they want from me. So if you get into a room and you know your audience and you know why they came, and you can cater to them. But it's weird to me that if you have an audience in the room and they came to hear about Forex, crypto, stocks, entrepreneurship, and you start telling us jokes about the weather. Well, don't be mad when they don't laugh and you have no reaction. Don't be mad when you start talking about the birds and the bees in the mountain and there's no reaction. They came to hear about something. Keep it relevant. That's what it is.
Do you feel like you have other gifts?
I think improvisation. A lot of, I don't know where that came from. I guess that's more intuition, I think.
Yeah.
I really don't know where that came from.
When do you feel like you got to your peak? Or
yeah. I think it was when...
What do you feel before 30, after 30?
Like peak in like our industry?
Business-wise.
Business? Oh, I'm definitely not my peak business-wise because there's still so many things I want to do and got to do. And I'm not disciplined to do some things. Like you said to me the other day, you're like, I don't know if I should say it. I'm thinking about writing my book. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's so early. But you're ready for it. See, I know I'm not disciplined for that yet. I got a lot more chapters I got to live out before I even think about doing that. You start a podcast. I wasn't disciplined enough to do this either. So discipline is a big thing for me. So I know business-wise, I'm not at my peak. But in our industry, I think I peaked with like skills for sure because everything started becoming very easy. I noticed I wasn't, you know what it was? It was me and you doing regionals back in the day. I noticed we wasn't practicing anymore. It was like, what are you talking about? Oh, whatever happens. Whatever. When I get on stage, whatever happens, happens. And it would come out so perfectly. And I'm like, oh, we must be peaking here because this is becoming super easy. Like super easy.
That's so true.
Yeah. Like we have Lebanon coming up.
Yeah.
End of the month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will know what I'm going to say the minute I touch. The minute those lights go on, boom, I will know.
With the music and everything, I'll know
and I'll just know exactly what needs to be said in that moment. So I don't know what we're calling that, but that's peaking for sure.
Rakan's going to translate about 75% of what you're going to say.
He doesn't translate anything. I'm going to say what I want to say, and he's going to say what he wants to say.
Lebanon people understand English.
And hopefully they like it. Hopefully they like it.
No, I think Lebanon, they're very into like, they would like a little bit of a, because men can have very different personalities. Yeah. Very different personalities, right? And they definitely want a version of you on that stage.
It's going to be a little bit different. They're in for
a treat.
Yes.
For a treat.
Yes. And I've never been to the Middle East.
Yeah, you never been to the Middle East the first time.
What's that like? What's that going to be like for me?
That's going to be cool. Lebanon, man. Europe of the Middle East. Yeah. Beautiful. Just absolutely. But I feel like we should have part 2 for this podcast.
Yeah, you want to do that?
We're going to have part 2. And maybe...
You want to let me back on here?
Maybe we should go a little bit in depth about certain things because I like it. But maybe we'll end this with a small tip. For anybody that's watching. So this is, Success After Dark. So they're looking, I'm guessing that somebody that's watching this, I'm not guessing, I know somebody that's watching this, they're either starting their journey, in the middle of their journey, still in the dark, or they're at or they're trying to peak right now. So I guess.
Biggest tip, rewind this, watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No. Just look, if you're going through it, keep going. They always say, like, don't stop in hell. Yeah. Going through hell, keep going. Light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody has all the answers. Everybody's a little bit afraid. Everybody's a little bit nervous. Follow your intuition. Usually it's right. Usually it's the thing that's going to work out for you. Nobody can tell you how to be you, so you're the only you. No point in trying to be somebody else. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure you're having fun. And give it your all, because you can fail at something you don't want to do, so you might as well try what you do want to do. So.
You got it.
See that improvisation?
That was good. My friends, my family, Success After Dark podcast with my brother Kaine Harriott. Y'all make sure you definitely a like for this. You know what? Definitely drop in the comments. I want to hear.
Don't tag me. Not interested. Don't
Let us know your opinions about this, because this was definitely a different kind of episode. My brother Vlad, thank you for being on the podcast. And my friends, make sure you subscribe, you like, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.